Hello again, welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to Exoria. So since last episode, I've been pretty busy. For starters, I did add a lot more grass, to kind of add a little bit of greenery and life to this area, and get rid of some of this ash. So we do have a bit more grass. I've just been kind of spreading it off from this area and on outwards, you know. Also, let's see, we did get our other tanzanite, so we're going to craft our Bane tool. Oh, I got another one, so I got two now. Awesome. And then I've been making obsidian plates and stone and stuff like that. By the way, the fuel is a lot more efficient, or not a lot more, a little bit more efficient when you run it through this. Also, you'll notice that I'm using ash blocks. It was brought up in the comments that we can use ash as a fuel source. So a block only smelts one item. It actually smelts a little bit more technically when you're using when you're running it through this furnace, you know. I smelted 2 stacks of stone, and it was a stack and a fourth of ash blocks. So a little bit more effective when you use it in this craft furnace. This was definitely worth crafting like first up. And then I also made a bunch more food. We're eating baked potatoes. I've also made some veggie salad and some baguettes right now. I'm not too worried right this second about the nutrition. You know, maxing everything out. I've noticed that you lose your buffs from it if it goes below 90% in this pack. After today's episode, I'll probably start looking more at making sure and maxing out food. I mean, I know rotten flesh is a fat, but the fat that I actually want to go for is cookies. Big cookies. These require cocoa beans and dough. But I don't know. I want them. I want big cookies. I think that's what I want to go with. But anyways, over here I did go ahead and get a bunch of cobblestone. Those are all full stacks of cobblestone. Just so that we had it for the episode. It would, you know, make things a little bit easier on us. Out here, if we step down here, I built this out a little bit. Nothing fancy, but I planted our bamboo down here. So we have bamboo, and these things are actually kind of nice because they work as sticks. And they break super easy. The worst thing is breaking the leaves up there. But I quite like the bamboo. Honestly, I haven't decided exactly what kind of build we're going to do in this series. Like once we get to the building stage, hopefully sooner rather than later. I do have a couple ideas as to possible dimensions that I would like to do the building in, but I haven't exactly decided on the exact style. But I do know that since bamboo is here, and I love the bamboo blocks, like I love the bamboo blocks so much. I am planning on doing something with that. I don't know if I will go with like an Asian themed build, kind of like what I did in Infotech 2. I loved that build, and I always wanted to like redo that build because, you know, that series ended up bugging on me a little bit. It was kind of I don't know, I think it's probably my fault, but it did end up bugging on me when I was building that World Eater, and I've always wanted to go back and redo that build. I'm actually running out of places to put this. I'm just going to start like placing it. And I know these things can grow like really densely, and I'm mainly after the bamboo itself. But these work as sticks, so they're replaceable with any kind of stick recipe. You can use the bamboo for that. And they tend to drop a lot of saplings. They're easy to spread, and you'll have more sticks than you know what to do with. And it's actually kind of nice in this pack. You can see I've already got a stack and 40 right here. And then if we step out here, okay, right here, we've got 1, 2, 3 stacks, wow, and 41. This stack actually just recently started, and it's already up to 41. This has been working amazingly. I do need to bring the slabs up. You'll notice every once in a while, a piece of cactus will get stuck on top of the slab. I don't know. I could bring it up. At the same time, I'm just kind of like, man, like, I'm producing so much dirt right now. Between this and the strainer, like, it's a lot of dirt. Because I used a lot of dirt since last episode. Like over there, down there, and then up here, as you're about to see. I did go ahead and set up some wooden barrels out here. I did notice these aren't really collecting water, it seems like. So, I just manually filled these, because these are collecting water. And they're doing a very, very good job on it. They are collecting a lot of water. And then if we step up here, I've got a strainer base right here. And this one is just for like excess seeds. So anything that's already planted, I didn't pull the seeds out of the storage building because those, you know, the ones that are in there right now are the stuff that hasn't been planted yet. But industrial hemp, pepper, and vanilla seeds, or wheat seeds, I always call them vanilla seeds. But I'm using that to store those. And then over here, I've got another little field. This one is pepper seeds, turnips, beetroot, and then rice. Okay, and now beetroots are fully placed out. And I might as well, while I'm up here, I might as well go ahead and harvest these. But I went through all the food. A lot of the food doesn't have like a ton of uses at the moment. So I just grabbed, I planted those things because I do have uses or incoming uses for those. And then I built some stairs up here. This is nothing at the moment, but we're going to use it here in just a little bit. So, anyways, today I want to continue on. Oh, there goes some cactus. I love it. It's so nice having dirt on hand. Like, it's just so useful. Okay, but today I want to continue on with our quests. And the first thing I want to do, since we have that piece of tanzanite, I want to go ahead and get the Bane of Leaves. And I know it was mentioned in the comments, because I kind of view the Bane of Leaves as kind of like, whatever. Not terribly useful. But it was brought up in the comments that it is a silk touch, like it does shear the leaves, so you do get back the leaf block. Still not terribly useful for our needs, because, like I know it was brought up that you can use these leaves for water. Well, we've got water. And you can also use them for making dirt. Well, we've got dirt. Honestly, I might throw some in there. I don't know. We'll see. And then you can also use it, of course, for making, on the chopping block to make plant fiber. But we don't make plant fiber like that. We use saplings. So, as far as progression-y purposes, I don't have a ton of need for the leaf block. But I do plan on using them for building. Because I love leaf blocks for building. They're just great. So let's go ahead and get ourselves some hardened stone. Hardened stone's actually pretty easy at this point. Especially after stocking up on that stuff. Like, it's no biggie. And then let's get our Bane of Leaves. There we go. And that should... There we go. Our tinkering quest is done. So that quest is knocked out. And let's pop out here. Might as well. Go ahead and click that, and look at that. It breaks a bunch of leaves. So, honestly, with the dead leaves, I'm not going to harvest a bunch of these, because I don't really have any use at all for these things. But once we get to the oak leaves, I'll have more use for those. I'll just hold on to these. Maybe we'll use them at some point for building or something. I don't know. Okay, but anyways, moving on. The next thing I want to do is I want to get into further regrowth. And to do this, we do need charcoal. And, well, technically we don't necessarily need charcoal, because the boreal seed is actually craftable if you just throw it in a mana pool, a dead bush, and you can make dead bushes, grass on a drying rack to make that. So, I mean, technically you don't even have to do this trade, but we are going to do the trade, because I need to make charcoal anyways. And actually, one thing I want to show you guys, and this is really, really cool. I almost forgot about it, though. I went out and just ran around just a little bit, just to kind of find more areas and stuff like that, but I actually came across... Look at this. Another portal. And something I noticed, you can actually pick up. I think you can pick it up. Yeah. There we go. Vivid Wave. Everlasting Guilty Pools. Which I find interesting. Like, it pretty much means that we're going to have no use whatsoever in mana production in this pack, I don't feel like. Because there's Everlasting Guilty Pools. I actually found another one of these altars, too. It's not just this one. I found a second one. And I didn't really, in my test world, I didn't spend a whole lot of time flying around or anything, so I didn't even know these things would spawn. And I was out wandering around just kind of looking for, you know, like those little buildings and stuff like that. And came across 2 more of these. Which means that's another 4 Everlasting Guilty Pools. Also, I'm going to take this waystone, because we can use it to place waystones around our base, or when I'm out exploring, stuff like that. For some reason, I can't select next. I did find another... Yeah, see, I actually found a couple more buildings, but it's not letting me go to them right now, for some reason. Maybe once I break some more of those waystones off or something, I'll be able to go there. I'm going to go ahead and put those down right there. We have extra Everlasting Guilty Pools. It's a little bit OP. Like, it just kind of breaks Britannia in a lot of ways, I feel like, because, like, mana's not even a thing in this pack. But I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to hold on to this waystone, because the nice thing is if you're out exploring, you can kind of piggyback off of them. So you can just kind of explore to however far you get, throw down a waystone, set it to, like, adventure spot. And then teleport back home, and then teleport back to your waystone, pick your waystone up, and then there you go. And just continue on your journey. So, But anyways, the charcoal quest. I got a little bit sidetracked. The charcoal quest, what we need to do is we actually need to make a charcoal pit, basically. Yeah, charcoal pit. And so what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to get our loam. And I've actually got quite a bit of this stuff. I've got a stack and 53. So we'll go ahead and grab that. And then we're going to need a bunch of wood. And we're going to take this wood and we are going to compress it down into wood piles. And I guess, does it only make one? I thought it made 4 at a time. No, it doesn't. That's fine. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and compress all of this. That's fine. So 16 wood piles. And that completes that quest. They only want us to get 4. And then they want us to get ash and charcoal. And we are going to need our fire starter as well. Okay, so let's go out here. We're going to start ourselves a fire. And I'm just going to do it right up here. So we'll put down our loam. And I'm not for sure. It's been a while since I've done the forestry loam. I want to say you have to do the bottom too. There's different mods that add their own like charcoal pits and stuff. So some of them are different. Some of them you only have to fill in the sides. Some of them you just put dirt down. Forestry you have to do loam. I don't know. I get them all mixed up. So I'm just going to do the bottom and all the sides and everything with it. And we're just going to go ahead and just build this up. No, let me actually... I'll build it out like that. There we go. And then we're just going to cover this up with loam as well. Let me go ahead and get on top of this. Okay, and now what we're going to do is take our fire... Did I not grab my fire? Yeah, there it is. I thought I grabbed it. And we're going to light our wood pile on fire. And then we're going to cover it up. And you'll notice that it's going to smoke. And we're just going to kind of leave it there for a little while and let it smoke. I'm not for sure how long it takes. I want to say once the smoke stops, then it's done. You can hear it's like burning inside of there at the moment. And I tell you what, while we're waiting for this charcoal to convert, let's go ahead and do this quest for the clay. So what we need to do is these barrels over here, these ones from Ex Nihilo Creatio, we are going to add either blocks of terra clay or loam. I'm going to use loam because I tend to have a lot of it. If I can find what I did. Oh, okay. It blends in with the cabinet there. So we're going to take this loam and take it over here to these barrels. And then what you do is you put water in these. And then you just put it down in there. And it turns to clay. Very, very simple process. And then with the clay, what we can do is, of course, break this down. I don't know if the crafting recipe... Yes, it is. Awesome. I love it when that crafting recipe is a thing. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to smelt this down, 7 of them, and get ourselves a crucible. So we'll go ahead and get that going. Let's go check on our charcoal. And actually, this clay, I'm just going to put this right in here. And this loam, I'll put it back. There we go. Okay, our bricks are done. So let's go ahead and make our crucible. And it's just like that. There we go. And then we are going to need to get ourselves... Quest complete. Oh, because I got leaves. Okay. Well, what you do is... I'll go ahead and show you guys. Let's get those leaves that we cut down earlier. I guess we have a use for them. And we'll just set this down. Let's see, is that really close to the bed? It's pretty close to the bed. But I don't think it should catch fire. So what we'll do, actually there's ash right there. We're going to light a fire right there. And if you light a fire on ash, it stays there forever, just like netherrack. And then we'll set down our crucible. And then what we can do is we can take our leaves and just add these in. Yeah, we got to throw them. Okay, and if you notice up the top left, it's basically filling up with water. For some reason, it's not displaying the water, which is kind of bizarre. But it is filling that up with water. And if we take a look, we have 2.4 buckets in there at the moment. It's making quite a bit of water. Let me actually grab some of that. Because it's making a lot of water. But we don't really have too much use for that. That's just another processing step that we don't really need. Since we got the water buckets, like I've got water there, I've got water over there. Oh no, it's the rain. Well, guess what? It just so happens it's nighttime. I've noticed it tends to be nighttime. Like whenever it starts raining or something, look at the sky and most likely it's going to be night. So I'm just going to go ahead and sleep and the rain will be gone. And there we go. Okay, is this done or is this still going? I want to say whenever it's smoking, that means it's still going. So yeah, we still got to wait a little bit longer for it. Okay, well let's take a look. Concrete plans and foundry. Oh, let's get into foundry, maybe. Concrete plans, what is this? For my next contraption, I will need a factory-like building. Okay. Haha. Okay, yeah, we need both of these, basically. So let's take a look at concrete. This is gravel, sand, and lime plaster. And lime plaster you can make with quicklime and sand. Quicklime is smelted chalk. So, not too bad. You can also use slaked lime and sand. Slaked lime is quicklime around water. Honestly, I think... I don't know, we've got a lot of rocks. Sand is easy. So let's get ourselves some chalk dust going. And I'm going to go ahead and turn it into blocks, because it'll smelt a little bit faster that way. And then we're going to need to get ourselves a bunch of gravel. Okay, so let's go ahead and get ourselves 64 gravel. And then we're also going to need 64 sand, which I've got right here. And then we need all that quicklime stuff. Or lime plaster, I mean. So sand and quicklime. Can you make... Yeah, you can turn sand back into that. But chances are I probably got enough sand blocks. Is it this one? If so, maybe not. I've got 31. Well, actually, I don't need that many, though. For some reason, I was thinking I need 64. I don't. Oh, it's so much quicklime. Okay, so here we go. We need lots of water. And... oof. This is going to be so manual to craft this. Like, so involved. What's that other recipe for the lime plaster? The sand and slaked sand. It really is the exact same thing, so... Okay, well, we'll just go with this then. I'll tell you what, probably the best way to do this is go ahead and just lay it out in here. And then we'll lay out the sand. And then we can just add our water buckets to that. Okay, so there's a half stack, and that's actually enough to craft what we need for the 64 concrete. So there we go. Concrete plans quest is done. And we are going to have to build out a room for that, using that. And I'm probably just going to do it in here. So, because I've kind of got like this little foundry area, kind of, sort of. And so we'll just put it into here. So give me just a minute while I get all this concrete placed, and then I'll be back. I'm not doing anything in particular with it, just kind of laying it out right now. We will decorate and make things look nice, but right now, I mean, I don't have access to like a ton of blocks, and I don't really have access to, yeah, most everything I want to start building, so we're just going to plot all this out. Okay, all the concrete is down. Isn't that pretty looking? That is just awesome. It's so good looking. Just kidding. It is what it is. Let's take a peek. This almost sounds like it's done. Nope, it's not done. Put it back. Man, that stuff takes forever to cook. Really, really does. Okay, well, we'll let that keep on cooking. And the next thing that we're going to need to do is, let's see, this quest right here for the foundry. The heavy metal, yeah. We need to make 17 copper ingots and 20 refractory bricks. So let me get all this copper that we've got. Is that the best way? Let me see. Is that the best way that we can do this right now, is making it by nuggets? Before we get to the, well, really the melting crucible is going to come out to be nuggets too. Yeah, that's going to be the best that we can do. So I'm going to go ahead and just throw it in there and get that going. And we are going to need quite a bit of this, so let me get another stack. Might as well go ahead and cook all of it. We'll just cook all of it, whatever. It's a lot of copper that you need. I think I've got enough, but it's going to be close. I felt like this whole time that I had like a ton of copper, but not so much. Okay, and while that stuff's smelting up, we also need these refractory blocks, refractory bricks. These right here, so we have to make refractory clay, which is clay around sand, is all it is, and it makes 8 of them. That's actually pretty cheap. So we'll go ahead and get our clay. And there we go. We're going to get 3 crafts of that. That's 24 refractory clay, and we'll just dump it into there. And then we got to wait for all this to smelt up. I need to make another furnace here soon, but I kind of want to get the foundry up and going first. And let me go get more ash, too. Because that one stack is all gone. I don't hear that burning anymore. Okay, it stopped smoking. Let's take a look. Is it done? Aha, it is. Okay, so let's pull the loam off of this. And let's just go ahead and pull this off. Technically, you can make a hole in the ground and use like the same area. And I will end up doing that. But I don't know how extensively we're actually going to need the charcoal. So let's go ahead and break all this up. Quest complete, light it up. For getting our charcoal and ash. So there is over 3 stacks of charcoal. Not to mention 38 ash. Which, what all do we need that for? Ash and stone from embers. But can't you make it out of... yeah, you can make it out of biomes with plenty of ash. So there we go. I don't know how extensively I'm actually going to need all that ash. But anyways, that completes that quest. And we can do our further regrowth now. So we need to trade charcoal and bamboo back to our home planet. So let's do that. Oh, look at all the bamboo. So much bamboo. Okay, so bamboo and charcoal, and there we go. There is our boreal seed. So we got our quest update, and now we need to basically do the same thing that we did for the seeds. We have to do it for saplings. And look at all these saplings that we're going to get. And this is actually something that I've been waiting for, because we're about to get a lot of saplings. A lot of them are fruit trees, which will be useful. And then we have all the vanilla trees and stuff like that, so good times ahead. Finally having access to wood that's not dead wood. So, alright, let's just pop up here, and I'm going to place out this dirt right up here. Alright, so here we go, boreal seed. There we go, and we're going to get podzol from that. And let's see how much it makes. And then we're going to hold shift and right click and basically just clear through this stuff. Like we did with the other one. Oh, no, I'm getting a bunch of saplings I can't hold on to right now. Okay. I'll tell you what, let me go ahead and plant like the oak seed. Is this... See, they want us to get an oak sapling, but it gives us the seed. So I think we're going to have to grow it and then get the sapling maybe. We'll go ahead and plant the oak down, and let's go ahead and plant down acacia. And we'll plant down... Well, we need 4 dark oak though, don't we? I should think. I'll put that right there. Okay, I'm going to go dump this into that seed strainer for right now. All these orange sapling. We got apple saplings, peach saplings, banana, pear, cherry, mango, and coconut so far. And back to it. So many saplings. And they give them like all to you at once. It's crazy. Okay, we got a spruce and another oak. Oh, and I guess technically we could do that. We could just put it down and then pick it up. And it should count it. Yeah. There we go. Okay. That'll actually work. Okay, so what all are we missing at the moment? We are missing lemon, plum, birch, and jungle. Oh my gosh, I got like tons of all the other saplings, but no lemon as of yet. So I'm going to have to get another boreal seed and then try it again with a little bit more dirt. And the charcoal, we can use that to make torches, by the way, but honestly, I've got 48 torches just from... Basically, I found them from breaking bones, and then also the chests and those like little structures tend to have a lot of unlit torches in them. Especially the Botania one. It has a lot in there. Like 40 or something, I don't know. It's a bunch. Oh, there we go. Like the first piece of dirt, I think it was. But there's our lemon sapling, and quest complete, further regrowth. Awesome. Okay, so now we have a quest here for metal growth. Now I have all the seeds and saplings. As soon as I have metal processing, I can try to trade, and maybe they'll give me something for my progress. So we can get iron, gold, copper, tin, lead, and silver oreberry bushes. Definitely want to go... I definitely want to get those, but if I recall, they're actually kind of expensive. I looked at them before. Oh, never mind, they're not. Silver and peach. What is copper? Copper is orange and 2 copper ingots. That might be worth doing early. Because I'm already like tapped out on copper. So maybe I want to go ahead and do that real quick. Let me get an orange sapling out of here. I love oreberry bushes. I really, really do. If you haven't seen my other series in the past, I love oreberry bushes so much. And I feel like they're overlooked a lot of times because they're not, you know, if you only get a couple oreberry bushes, they're not nearly as powerful as a quarry or something like that. But they're so good. They really are. Alright, so let's plant our orange sapling. We'll just put it right here, I guess. Should be good. I don't know. See, the worst thing is I don't have a lot of like flat terrain, and if I wanted to build an orchard, I would kind of like it to be like flat, but I don't want to like just build a flat space like sky blocks or something. I'm trying to build it so it kind of fits onto the mountain. So I don't know. I'm like in a tough spot at the moment. I'm not for sure when the next dimension comes up, I think is my problem. Okay, so there we go, and if you look right here, you can actually see oranges back in there. Yeah, there we go. And we got more growing. There's one back in there. I can't get to it. That's fine. Anyways, we got our first bits of oranges. And let's pop over here. Let's see how the copper's going. Not too bad. Let me go ahead and grab that. And can I like... I can't do that. Okay, that is 16 copper ingots. We need one more for that quest, right? Yeah, 17 for that quest. I'm going to have just enough. No, I'm going to have one left over. I don't know if I want to go straight for the ore berries first, or... Well, there's 16 more copper. And then maybe I'll get like one more copper, and I can do like 2 ore berries. You know, I've got 2 oranges, so if I get like 2 more copper ingots, that would be ideal. Or no, wait, it's 2 ingots per oreberry bush, isn't it? So... yeah, I'm going to need at least 2 for the first one. That's fine. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm actually waiting on that refractory clay. I'm going to go ahead and get 2 copper ore berries. I think it'd be worth it to go ahead and just get it. And then I can let the copper to finish out this multi-block. I've got to wait for that refractory blocks to smelt up anyways, so I might as well. There we go. There's 1. And there's 2. 2 copper ore berries. Awesome. So there's 1 done. Good. And it just so happens it's the only metal that we have access to. Okay, now I'm not for sure with the ore berries mod, I'm not for sure if these have to be planted in the darkness like normal. Yeah, see, they're not wanting to plant here, and I think it's because of the amount of light that's here. So I'm going to need like a dark area. So what I'm going to do is, let me get... I've got cobble. Can I make slabs? I'm pretty sure I can make slabs with it. Oh wait, it doesn't matter because mobs can't spawn in this dimension. Never mind, it doesn't matter at all. So we're gonna set our oreberry farm like down here, I think. So give me just a second. Let me dig into here. I need to go make another shovel. Is what I need to do. I'm gonna dig back to the first yellow X here, and this is where we're gonna put in our oreberry farm. Because you do need it to be kind of dark. It has to like basically simulate underground for the oreberries to grow. Well, if anything, we can insert lights into like the ceiling or something like that, so it stays dark down where the oreberries are. But anyways, now that that's down, let's go ahead and we're going to put down, I think cobble should work to grow them on. And actually, I should probably start, we're going to start up here, in fact. So we'll put down our oreberry bushes, and then we can just break this. Because they don't actually have to set on something to grow, but they do have to be planted on something initially to grow. Or to be placed, that is. And bone meal does not work on these, so they are going to take a little while for them to grow and actually start producing copper for us. And it's only nuggets, but I'm not for sure if it's interchangeable. Normally it's interchangeable with copper nuggets. So if you get the ore berries, it's basically as good as getting a nugget. I'm just going to find them right here. Copper ore berries. Yes, they are interchangeable with nuggets, so you don't have to smelt them or anything like that special. You just... it's a nugget, basically. Awesome. Good stuff. Okay, so we're going to let that stuff grow for a bit, and I'm going to keep getting those. Like, once we get the copper for the foundry, I need 4 more pieces of copper for that. Yeah, so I'm going to be waiting on copper at the moment. There's a little bit more. But I'm still going to be 2 pieces shy. Or 2 ingots shy, I mean. So I'll be back once I have the 17 copper that we need. For this quest. The refractory bricks are done though, so let's actually grab that. And if we take a look, the next part, they want us to craft a burner heater. a melting crucible, a mold crafting station, and a faucet. So I guess we can go ahead and start with that stuff. So the burner heater, let's take a look at this. Uses solid fuel to generate heat for a melting crucible. So we're going to need a copper plate, a refractory casing basic, and then that furnace that we made before. Refractory casing is copper plates and refractory bricks. So we're going to need 5 plates for that. And you can honestly expect that I'm going to be going for a lot, and I mean a lot, of oreberry bushes. I love oreberry bushes. And honestly, it seems like it's probably going to be the best route for metals for right now. I don't think there's any sieves. I mean, there is this. You need wood shakes for it. But see, it's mainly like dust. Gets you Certus quartz and crushed quartz. There's prismarine. This is a little bit later. This is for like your diamond, cobalt, or lapis, burnium, all that stuff. There's aluminum and stuff. It takes gravel from the Misty World. And it's not craftable at the moment, so. Alright, so let's get our burner heater. So there's our refractory casing. And then we need that furnace block. And there we go. There's that. Our burner heater. And then next up, there we go. Next up, we need the basic melting crucible. Right here, a block must be in a closed room of at least 50 blocks interior size and at least 64 exposed concrete. Okay, we've got that. So the melting crucible is refractory wax, or refractory bricks, a copper cauldron, and then another one of those refractory casings, and then the copper plate. So we're going to need, 5 more plates and then the 7 copper for the cauldron. And this is where I'm going to be out of copper at the moment. Oh, and this oreberry got a little bit larger. So it is growing. Slowly but surely. Okay, well, I only need 1 more nugget right now. Let's go ahead and get the mold crafting station. So this is another furnace, which it's fine. Crafting table and then a stone slab. And that's not how you make stone slabs. How do you make these? Okay, with a saw. That works. I should have known. Oh, but you can't use a flint hand saw. Probably have to use a copper one. So that's more copper that I'm going to need 2 plates for that. Awesome. I'm really excited about that. Okay, well, I've got 2 plates here. It's not really ideal that I've got to use it, but that's alright. We are going to need a pen as well. Which I'm not for sure. Can I use this? Aha, I can. So we'll go ahead and get a wooden pen. And then the copper saw. There we go. There's that. And why did I get 2 of them? Oh, because I put both of the pins down. That's fine. I've got 2 of them. Whatever. So that and stone. And we get our stone slabs. And I'm just going to put this one away for right now. And then we can get our mold station. So the mold crafting station. There we go. And then for the faucet, what do we need to make the faucet? Seared bricks, grout. Oh, what is this? Sand, gravel, clay. Okay, it's standard. So that's fine. Let's get... I'm going to go ahead and make a few seared bricks because I'm sure that we're going to need them like semi-soonish, I'm guessing. Okay, so there is grout. I am grout. A full stack of that. Which will definitely help once we get to, like, the smeltery, you know. Just having that'll be useful. And before I smelt that up, though, let me go ahead and... There's some copper. Oh, yeah, I'm going to need more, though, now. Because I had to make that handsaw. And I used... Oh, my gosh, I made 2 copper saws, so I used all 4 of my plates. No. Okay, so I need 5 more copper. Basically. Whenever you're making plates, if you put your copper on the crushing table and you crush it, just keep holding right click and it will automatically pick up the plate, place down another copper ingot, and then keep crushing it. It'll place down, you know, whatever you were just crushing up. So if you just want to keep on making it, just hold down the button. Oh, so really neat thing. I just harvested from the copper oreberry bush and I got 3 copper oreberries. Instead of just 1. So they give back more than normal. These are really going to be useful as we move forward. I'm going to want lots of oreberries and, you know, all of them, basically. Also, I did notice that Magical Life is opened up now. So that tab, we'll probably start that tab next episode, I imagine, and start going through that. It looks like we've got Botania, we've got roots, and we've got bees, at least at the start of that tab. But our seared bricks are done. Let's go ahead and take those, and let's make the seared faucet. So there's that. Easy as pie. And I know we're going to need these here in just a little bit for the casting channels quest, I'm pretty sure, anyways. I still need three more copper nuggets. So really, if these oreberries come in, I would be set. But I'm thinking that once we hit, like, next episode we'll probably start into Botania. It's probably where I'm going to head first. Either Botania or roots, I'm not for sure. But if we do... like growth flowers, the agricarnation, if we do some of those and then couple it with, you know, the oreberries, we're going to have lots of metals. I think that'll be the route that we take, is going for that agricarnation like first. Okay, I got the 5 ingots that we need. So watch this. Like if you just hold right click, there you go. It's kind of nifty because we only made one like last episode, so that is a nice little feature. Also, I did start, I pulled up all the dead saplings that were here, and I've started putting down oak, just straight up oak instead of having the dead ones. That way we get apples, and we can use the leaves for, you know, composting, and we get saplings that we can compost, and I don't know, it's just better. Up there, I started setting up kind of a, it's only going to be like one of each tree. I don't know if I need like a huge, orchard, at least right now. I'll probably eventually make one, but I think, honestly, I think like one of each tree should be good, because I don't know how extensively I'm going to be using them for food. I mean, apples I'll probably use, they're vitamins, and yeah, whatever, but and I guess oranges are vitamins, yeah, but see, there's not a whole lot I'm going to be using these for outside of making the oreberries. I mean, I'll look through all the fruits and just see, but I think one of each tree will be fine for our needs for the time being. So I'm just going to put our orchard up there, just kind of out of the way. Okay, so the other thing that we need to make was the melting crucible. Let's go ahead and get that. So, melting crucible, there we go. And quest complete, foundry. And, oh, I thought this was the end, maybe the end of the thing, but maybe not. I don't know. It's got a big symbol there. We still have to do all of that. The channeling all the liquids, the bucket, Adobe Crafter, efficiency, all that stuff. What is heavy metal? Now I can finally cast any of the metals I gathered. I will need a way to make blocks, ingots, and plates for now. Okay. He wants to make a tin plate. Okay, well, let's take a look at the casting. Ingot, plate, rod, and block are the options. Okay, well, we're going to start with the ingot casting. The ingot casting table. So what we're going to need to do is sit down our mold crafting station, and we'll just put this thing down like right here. And then let's get ourselves, I want to make the ingot casting table. And so we need to make an ingot mold, which to make this, we are going to need to do that. I've got clay. Okay, yeah, it's right there. Okay, so what we're going to need to do is make the refractory clay. So this right here, and then we're going to need to do like that and make those blocks is what we need. Okay, so the casting ingot casting table, we are going to need to do this. So depth of 0, it just needs to be pressed in to a depth of 2 right there. All right, so let's do that. We'll drop this into here, and we're going to do like that, and then press it in one. Oh, okay, right click and you can reduce it. There was something like this. It was the clay making stuff in Terra Firma Craft, and you couldn't reverse it. So if you made a mistake, it was like, well, you just lost that stuff. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and fire this mold, and after a second, there we go. We got our ingot mold. Awesome. Okay, so now we can actually craft this down into the ingot casting table. I am going to need a stone slab. and our ingot casting table. Woot. Okay, so now that we've got that, what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and set this melting crucible up. So the burner heater, we're going to put this, we'll put it right back in here for now. So the burner heater goes right there, and this is where you put like the stuff that you're going to burn to produce the heat. And then we're going to put the melting crucible right above that. And this is where you actually dump the items in. And so what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to drop like, can I not use ash? Probably have to use charcoal for this. Yeah, I think so. And if we throw this into there, you'll notice that it starts heating up. The temperature is rising in this. And let's see, to make iron. That's what I want to start with is iron. Let's actually go grab some of these iron ore blocks. So if we take a look, the melting crucible, we need a temperature of 1800 Kelvin to melt iron down. So right now we're at 1300. Now what I want to do is I want to go ahead and if I put this down, okay, I can still see over it into there. That's good. So the casting table goes right there. We're going to put the faucet setting right here. Room is not big enough. Missing 49 blocks. Really? There we go. Okay, I'm not going to be able to put it right there. I'm going to have to remove this, I guess, and put it back in here. Because it's covering up the front, and it's not able to recognize the room is what's happening. Okay, so we're at 1700 Kelvin. We're almost where we need to be. Okay, so we broke 1800 Kelvin. So what we're going to do is we're going to throw our iron ore rocks into there, and it's going to start melting that down and producing liquid metals. Now each one's only going to be a nugget's worth. So 16 millibuckets. So it's going to take a little while for this to smelt down so that we can actually start pouring it. So let me get the other molds made that we need. So the plate casting table, to make this, it's a depth of 1, just like that. Simple enough. And we got a small piece of refractory clay. That's like leftover, basically. There we go, and we'll hit fire mold once we're done setting it. And how's this doing? We have 160 liquid iron. Let's go ahead and pour some of that out. And then we have to wait for it to cool, basically just like with a, a TC table. I don't think there's any kind of like clock or anything that we can make at the moment. Redstone clock. Yeah, because I don't have redstone at the moment. So there's not a whole lot I can do on that front. Okay, so there's our plate mold. And then I'm also going to want the other... the block. There's also rods, but we want the block. So this is a depth of 4 on all of it. The entire thing is a depth of 4. And I don't know if there's any kind of like hotkey that I can hold to make this faster, or if I actually have to go through and like click this all the way through. I don't know. Okay, so there we go. We'll go ahead and throw that in there. And, oh, you know what? It pulls one in on its own. There's also the rod one, which is a depth of 1. Like that. Might as well go ahead and make it, I guess. So, depth of 1 and fire that mold. Okay, and that's going to be everything that we need from the molding station for right now. Okay, so this is cooled, and there we go. Acquire hardware. Dun, dun, dun. And is this starting to drop in temperature? No, it's good. Okay, it's 1862. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and throw more coal in this. We're going to keep the temperature on this up because I want to make a bit of iron. And then these pieces of refractory clay, we can just break these, or compact these, get refractory clay, and then we can just smelt this. Like so. Okay, so the casting table. Let's go ahead and make the plate casting table. There we go. And I'm just going to set this one like right over here to the side for right now. And let's keep the iron coming. Now to make the iron oreberry bush, because this is actually kind of important at the moment. To make this, we need coconuts. Okay, it just so happens I think I planted a coconut tree. I do believe. And there is the other casting tables that we needed. So, quest updated, heavy metal. And all that's left is make a tin plate for us at the moment. Okay, I'm going to stick these, like, put one right there and one right there for now. Oh, room's missing exposed concrete now, because this is covering the concrete. Okay, now let's go see if there's some coconuts up here. I sure hope so. So, which one of these? That's banana, apple, orange. Okay, I don't have coconut trees planted. Okay, I'm going to have to do that real quick. Okay, so that's a coconut tree. Awesome. Because that's really accessible. I love it. Let me make... Can I make like a ladder? So I can just like climb this thing? Yeah, just sticks. Okay. Let me go make some ladders real quick. And we'll go ahead and pour out a bit of tin. And that stuff, look at that melting point. It's like really, really low. Alright, so the first one, I want to go ahead and pull this up, and we're going to do a plate with our new casting table. So let's just pour that out real quick. And it should cool pretty quick, I imagine, since it doesn't have a high temperature. And apparently it's missing... Of course it is. There we go. Tin plate. And there we go. Quest complete, heavy metal. So that is done. And look at that. Now we have the resource automation quest line unlocked. So that's what that was. Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and just pour these out as ingots, I think, for the time being. Okay, so let's get ourselves... Oh. There's a little coconut that's growing, but I can't bone mill it. Alright, well, I'm going to put a torch up here, so... Hopefully it'll grow during the night. Yeah, see, it's growing. It's actually growing at a decent rate. But I don't have access to a lot of coconuts over here. And let's go see how our oreberry bushes are doing, because I imagine that they've probably grown, I should think, by now. Yeah, look at that. We only got one oreberry that time. But it can give at least up to 3, I know, for a fact. Okay, so the tin, we're done with that. And so the next thing I want to melt up is gold. Which actually seems to melt pretty quickly. The reason I'm melting all these up, making all these ingots right now, is because I want to go for oreberries. Like, lots and lots of oreberries. I think it's my next step. Because I really don't want to have to mess with the strainer metals anymore, because they're... Once we start, like, needing a lot of metals, it's going to be pretty slow relying on those. And since this is the last episode for the week, and then, of course, you know, it'll be the weekend, over the course of the weekend, I'm going to work on oreberry bushes and stuff on here. Kind of getting a bit of those, and then expanding out the little farm down there and making it a little bit nicer and everything for us. Okay, so I've got us 4 pieces of copper. I also got us 6 tin plates. And, no, I don't want that there. I want it right there. I want to go ahead and make 2 buckets, in fact. There we go. And we completed a quest. Oh, what's this? You unlock stage sieving knowledge. Stage sieving knowledge unlocked to Asgard. Title command successfully executed. Okay. So we made ourselves a bucket. 2 buckets. I want one for actually using, you know, moving lava and things like that. And then I also want one to make a watering can. So the watering can is crafted... let's see if I remember this right. I think it's that and that. There we go. And quest complete, watering can. So, there we go. Just quality of life stuff. And then the watering can, what we can do is, if the coconuts aren't done yet, I can use this on them. Right-click there, and... Can I not... Irrigates farmland, speeds up plant growth, but can I not... Oh, maybe I need to shift. Yeah, it has to be put down, and then you can shift right-click to pick it up. This is from thermal cultivation. So I've actually never used this watering can. There's like different ones. There's like hardened and stuff. It's like from the new thermal mods. This first one can only hold 4,000 millibuckets. Is that the only watering can? Yeah, it's just the thermal ones. Okay, are our coconuts done? They are not. So we're going to pop up here and we're going to use our watering can on this. Okay, I can hold right click and hopefully that's working. Let's see if the watering can will work on these. Oh, oreberries. The watering can does work on these. It causes them to grow a bit faster. Which pretty much means our ore troubles are gone. Yeah, see there's 8 copper oreberries. I will say, I mean, this watering can's not the best, but if I set up like a nice water system, it'll be alright. Plus, I plan on expanding it to the point that we have enough oreberries so that we have, you know, I want a bunch of them. I actually want a ton of them. So the next thing that I want to do is, let's actually pop in here. I did go ahead and process. I don't have it processing anything right now, but I went ahead and processed a bit of, like, you know, there's tin, gold, lead, and silver. So I did process a little bit of those so I can start making oreberries. Is it raining? Yeah, it's raining. That's fine. I'm going to have to head out there in just a minute, but I can just sleep to get rid of the rain. But let's go ahead, and there's a quest, actually, for efficiency for making an iron axe. And I do want to go ahead and do that. There we go. And quest is done. Then they want us to make solid survivalist strainer and the dense solid survivalist strainer. I'm not going to make that just yet because I don't want to eat through my iron right this second until I get ore berries and stuff up and going. I'm not too worried about the strainers at this point because honestly, I mean, if you look at what comes out of this, like, okay, this one, which needs to be emptied, but this one is mainly, you know, fish and then metals. Well, once we have the ore berries, we don't really need it, the strainer for getting metals so much, and the fish are kind of obsolete somewhat at this point. Over here, I mean, we've got these gems and stuff. This would be the one I probably ran more than anything, or would run more than anything, I'd say. So I'm not as worried about that. But with this iron axe, we can actually cut down, let me do oak, because I've already got oak slotted in here. But if I break down oak now, look at that, I get 4 planks. Such a good feeling. It's going to make getting planks so much easier now, because we're actually getting like the proper amount of planks. Also, after this episode, like with the weekend coming up, I'm going to be building our proper base for this planet. Because this has all been just kind of like a temporary little home, like a temporary little place to call home. And it's really disorganized, and it kind of drives me insane being here because A, it's really, really ugly. B, it's horribly disorganized. Like, this pathway doesn't even make sense. And I don't really have much room, you know? Because I'd like to start moving into automation next week. I will say that next episode we're probably going to start doing a little bit of the magical life stuff, because I do want to start down that path a little bit. But we are going to get into like resource automation, because you can see we can actually get an hourglass here, which is going to be useful. And I do want to start moving into that. So I'm going to be working, you know, during the weekend on actually setting up our proper base. Like, will be our home for this planet for the remainder of our time on this planet. And honestly, I mean, long term, we may do something like we did with Project Ozone, where we have a base that spans multiple planets. I'm not for sure yet. I haven't really decided, but I do have an idea of what kind of base I want to build on this planet for more of like a permanent place to call home. So, but one thing that I do want to do real quick is let's get some sand and let's get some charcoal. And this stuff, if we melt it down in the melting crucible, we get liquid glass. And liquid glass, we can pour it out in the block casting table and get clear glass. And I want to go ahead and make a little bit of that. So I want to do 8 pieces is what I want to do. So let me get the temperature on this up a little bit. Okay, we actually just completed a quest. I wasn't even thinking. The glass clear for the clear glass, that's done. And it did complete that quest. But what I want this for right now, the immediate use that I have for it is if we lay this out. Okay, we're not going to be able to do it with that. I'm going to have to pull this up. And we have to convert it over to regular glass. So just put it in a crafting grid to do that. And I just want a tank from BC Factory. Just a basic little BC Factory tank. And what I want to do is I want to... Actually, I can, yeah. Let me grab this. These will be nice for moving like fluids. You know, there's like deposits of water, stuff like that. So maybe if I want some of it, I can easily go get it. But what I want right now is just lava. I don't have an immediate use for lava, but I would like to start stockpiling lava because I know that soon enough we're going to need it. So, oh, advancement made, hot stuff. Let's go ahead and get ourselves a bit of lava. This doesn't retain its inventory, does it? We get fragile lava shards. Okay. And then these, we can just right-click. Ah, interesting. I wish they stacked, but at least it's better than it losing its inventory like it used to. And there we go. We have 16 buckets of lava in this. Just something that's going to be nice for us to have for later date stuff. Still waiting on coconuts to grow. Like, I've been waiting forever, it feels like. Those things take so much time. I've just been working on oreberries and kind of coming up with some ideas for our actual base. Like where I'm going to put it and stuff like that. Okay, I think I've got this figured out now. I actually managed to get a coconut. You have to break them. Like when they're green, they're actually grown. They just don't look very grown. So just jump up like that and do it. I actually broke one of the spawner blocks for it, but that's fine. They actually grow a lot faster than I thought. Yeah, let's go get 2 oreberry bushes. And I have been making some other oreberry bushes, but we'll go ahead and just throw in that and that. There we go. There is 2 iron oreberry bushes. Woot. And let's go put these in. Grab this. Aha. See, I've got silver oreberries and I made some gold oreberries. So we're actually doing pretty decent on oreberry bushes right now. And I'm about to be able to make another copper one. But anyways, let's go ahead and set up a little spot for iron. There we go. Oop. There is our iron oreberry bushes. And what I want to do is I want to go ahead and water these and get these things grown. And honestly, this first batch of water, I think, is just going to go into growing them. Because it's taking forever. Okay, there we go. We got our first bits of iron oreberry. And then what we're going to do, that's all I really need. I mean, I'm going to need more oreberries, you know, but for what I want to make, we're going to take these and we're going to go ahead and just smelt them up. Now, you can just, you know, melt them down. You don't necessarily have to smelt them up. Which actually, you know what? It might work without smelting them. We're going to find out real quick. I know the recipe doesn't show it, but most things are interchangeable. So we're going to find out. But what I want to try to make is, if we take this and lay it out like that, and then we take a wooden trapdoor, that's a chest recipe, right? But we want to make... Okay, so you don't actually have to smelt it. Awesome. But look at that. A chest. Haha. Now, the quest book actually doesn't have you crafting it until you do grinding my gears, which is right there. But we're going to go ahead and make chests. Legitimate chests. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. That's one of the things I wanted to wait on before I moved and actually set up like a permanent base, is because we're not... I'm still going to use some of these for decor and for like certain little storage areas. But for like dense storage, nothing beats a chest. Now, I don't know, is there any kind of like iron chest? I think we can make drawers now. We can make drawers. We can make frame drawers. And technically we can make copper chests. And I'm pretty sure we can make like all the iron chest stuff. Yeah, so, I mean, we've got chests. And that's a good thing. That's a very, very good thing. So we'll be able to, what I'll do between episodes, like whenever I'm building out the new area, is I'm going to go back to like the Roots building and the Britannia building, and I'm going to get all that stuff. Now that we have chests and we have drawers, so we can store things densely, you know, I can set a drawer up for dirt and cactus and stuff like that. Having good storage is going to be revolutionary in this pack, because this is just getting excessive just a little bit. Okay, now there's one other thing I want to craft before we end out the episode, because I know it's getting fairly close to wrapping up point, but I want to make a backpack. We're going to have chests and backpacks. So since we can make gold plates, we can make weighted pressure plates. I'm going to go ahead and actually make 2 backpacks, because I want to show you how nice these backpacks are. If you've never played with the backpacks mod at all, it's a really good mod, actually. It is a very, very good backpacks mod. There we go. And then we'll get a couple weighted pressure plates. And now this part is a little bit expensive, kind of, on like saplings or however, whatever route you're doing. I'm going to keep like 4 of them right there. Okay, so let's go ahead and take our work blade and let's just cut those things down. And my work blade broke, so go figure. can't use the saw, can you? No. I can make a better work blade now, though, so. Okay, so to actually make the backpack, it is plant cloth. And plant cloth is plant twine. So this is kind of, sort of expensive, depending on how you want to look at it. I mean, that's a lot of plant fibers that this takes. But let's go ahead and our backpack, our plant cloth, let's go ahead and lay that out. And that's what, 4 of them? Oh my gosh. That's a lot of plant cloth, actually. Okay, there's 8 plant cloth. That's actually 1 more than what I need, but that's fine. For the first backpack, I may wait on the second backpack because these are kind of, this is a lot of plant cloth, actually. Like, I won't have enough just on those saplings. I'll probably have to let the oak saplings build up a little bit. Okay, so there is our backpack. Oh, yeah. There we go. And if we open this thing up, you can see it's got a sort button, and it's got 3 lines of storage. Now, we can craft backpack pouches, which take a little bit more plant cloth and plant fiber. Okay, I pretty much ate through, like, that whole stack of saplings to get this. But what we can do is craft the backpack pouch. Okay, so now that we have the backpack pouch, what we're going to do is we're going to open up our backpack, and we're going to put it into there, and then we're going to take and just right-click the backpack pouch, and there you go. We have another line of slots. And you can pretty much, you can keep adding slots to this, and what is it, 8 I think is the max? Like 8 total lines, so I can add like 4 more backpack pouches to this. It's actually a massive, you can get it to be massive storage. And what's really, really cool about these, which I can't show you right now, but I'm going to try to get another backpack crafted up. You can actually, there's a couple neat little things that you can do with this. So for example, if you have your backpack in your hand and you just open your inventory, like I'm going to hit the inventory button, it includes the backpack in that. Of course, there's also an auto sort feature here. And then in addition, anytime you have any kind of GUI opened up, you can just right click your backpack and open it. So for example, if I go into, say, this chest, I can right click and look at that. I can access my backpack, and then if I want to close it out, I can just hit back. There you go. So I can just kind of access that and use it. Another really nice thing about these backpacks is they are nestable. So if I had the materials right now to craft another one of these backpacks, I could craft it and I could put it inside of there. And the cool thing is you can actually, like how I can right click this backpack in my inventory to open it, I can also right click the backpacks that are in the nesting, like nesting inside the backpack, and open them like endlessly. So I mean, really, it's infinite storage if you have the materials for it. It's probably one of the best backpack mods. It's a little bit powerful, and we'll get into more of the features as we progress. I mean, there's really good like multiplayer features, so like you can make it so that other people can't open your backpacks, things like that. There's also the backpack restorer. It's right here, and so if you ever lose a backpack, you can actually just restore it, which is really, it's really, really handy, right? There's just a lot of really great features. There's a quantum backpack, which we'll get into later. Also, these are dyeable. I don't really have much in the way of dyes at the moment. I guess I could get like red dye and then right click it, and there we go. Now it's a red backpack. So usually that's how you're going to do like your upgrades and stuff like that, is just put it in the backpack and then right click it. So a lot of really nice little features like that, and like I said, we'll get into more of them as time goes on. Once I get the saplings to make the fiber, I don't know, I'm not going to cut down leaves for it, but is there any other, oh, you can actually use it to rush with it. So, but anyways, we got a really nice backpack, and we can keep expanding it. I mean, like I said, the storage on it gets massive. So we got that, we got chests, we got new tools, we got buckets, we got watering cans, we have oreberry bushes, which is awesome. Those things, like I said, I'm going to keep expanding on those, and once we have a decent amount of oreberries, I'm going to throw in like an agri-carnation into the mix and stuff like that. I mean, we're going to be set on metals. We are going to be so set on metals. So, and then, like I said, we'll get into a bit of automation, like automating handling the metals and stuff like that. Like, I'm going to, like, the first bit of metals that we get, I'm really going to be burning those into making additional oreberry bushes, because the more oreberry bushes I have, the easier it's going to get to make more oreberry bushes and to have lots of metals. So I'm going to do pretty big farms, I imagine, for these. So that way we always have them on hand, which will be extremely useful. But anyways, I know it's about wrapping up point for this episode, so I am going to end this one out here. Next episode, like I said, I'm going to do a bit of building between this episode and next, because I got the weekend coming up. I'm going to do a bit of building and setting up a more permanent base that's not all ratty looking like this one is. So someplace that we can actually, you know, call home, and it's going to have space so that we can actually, like, kind of build out and do automation and stuff like that, because it's it's getting really cramped in here. So we're going to try to get something a little bit more open and expanded, and then I'll have to set up the cactus farm again, the automation. It's not a big deal. It's pretty quick to set up since we have all the infrastructure there. And then we'll have a permanent place for our loam, and we'll get some permanent gardens in and all that good stuff, which will be great. So next episode, like I said, we're probably going to get into a little bit of magic stuff. Maybe Botania, maybe Roots, we'll see. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, as always, be sure to hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already. To stay updated with when new videos come out, you can actually see the backpack on my back. Oh, and another really neat feature, there's a lot of neat features, and I know I'm forgetting a bunch of them, but you can actually shift right click, and look at that. You can stick your backpack onto the wall, and you can open it like it's a chest. It's really neat, right? Like, not a lot of backpack mods have all these features, but this one does, and I quite love it. I've played around with it a little bit in the past, and it's really neat. And you can also name it and all that stuff too. So, and then we can just break it, left click, breaks it off like that instantly too. So quite useful. I definitely want more of these things because they are super handy. Oh, and another really nifty feature of the backpacks that I forgot to mention, and I wanted to mention that, is the auto collect and resupply. So what we can do, there's auto collect from inventory or chest key. I'm going to set this to subtract, would be useful. And then configure auto collect resupply. I'm going to set this to like numpad 7, and then you can pause and resume auto collector. And I'm going to set that to like 8. Okay. And then what I can do is I can open up the backpack and then hit my configure button. And look at this. We can actually configure this backpack. This is a really neat feature. And what you can do is you can say, like, this is collect and resupply tabs. And what we can do is, let's say cobblestone. Okay. We're going to set this to, there's cobblestone any or cobblestone. Basically, that's like metadata. So if you want to just take all cobblestone types, you can select that, or select this one. If you just want specific cobblestone, you can select that. So what we're going to do is we're going to take and we're going to say add to, this is collect. So we'll say add. So cobblestone any is going to be grabbed by the backpack. Okay, now what I can do is, let's say I was out doing stuff and some cobblestone falls on the ground. I've been mining, and I walk over this. See, it didn't go back into my inventory. It has went into the chest because we set it to auto collect cobblestone. And then let's say that I've been out building or something, and I've got some blocks in here that I have set to the backpack's filter for collection. Okay, so I set cobblestone in there before. I can hit my auto supply or resupply button. I set it to subtract there. I can hit that button and suck it all into the backpack from my inventory. Instead of having it, just like having to manually do all that. If it's set to auto collect, it will auto collect out of your inventory if you hit that button. And then for the resupply, I'm going to go ahead and add cobblestone. I'm going to add lit torches. Okay, so we're going to add that. And you'll notice right here, there's a few little features you can do, like only collect items from this list, collect any items not in this list. There's collect items from this list, collect from this list, and fill existing slots. Any stackable items already in the backpack, stuff like that. So there's a lot of different little features that you can add to kind of customize the backpack. Then there's also over here on the resupply, right now it's set to don't resupply any item not in this list. So we're going to set it to only supply items from this list. And you can also do resupply, or you can do stock, only resupply and stock items from this list, or only resupply items from this list. We're going to do only resupply and stock items from this list. Okay, so now let's exit that out, And let's say I'm out in the world building with whatever block, you know, that I've got set to this, and I place it and I run out. It'll give me another stack, or however much is left in the backpack. So I can just fill the backpack up with, say, marble, and I can be out building, and I never have to pull anything out of the backpack. It's going to constantly fill my hand up with marble whenever I run out. Okay, and then if I'm out exploring, for example, and I've got torches in this, and let's say I run out of torches, like, you know, maybe it's a tool bag, and I run out of torches, it's going to fill them up from the backpack. So really, really nice feature. So there's a lot that you can do with these backpacks. There's also, like, you can actually share backpacks with people, and then, like, if there's any change with the backpack, then it's going to affect both people, so it's like a shared backpack. So, like, say you and a friend are playing on, like, a server together, and your friend's in the end and you're in the overworld, and your friend's like, oh, hey, I need some torches. Well, if you have a shared backpack, you in the overworld, you can make up some torches, throw them in the backpack, and then he'll have access to them. There's a lot of really, really neat things like that, and, you know, it's kind of got those little, like, ender backpack features and stuff like that built in, which we'll probably get into those later, maybe slightly. There's a lot of really good server-side features. Yeah, there's just a ton of stuff. These backpacks are awesome. They're a lot of fun. So anyways, I hope you guys join me for next time. Until then, as always, do take care. Stay safe. If you guys got any questions, leave them down in the comments. I'll do my best to get those answered for you. And I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. And I'll see you next week.